Hey everybody, it's Kurt, the Crypto Expat, back with another video on EMP money. Before I get started today, I just wanted to mention that I am not a part of the official EMP team. I am an investor and I'm incredibly bullish on the platform. And the videos that I'm creating here are intended for educational purposes, not financial advice, and are just my way of giving back to the community a little bit. With that said, let's get started. Today's topic is going to be nodes. We're going to take a look at the various nodes that are offered inside of the EMP ecosystem. But before we do that, we need to understand just at a basic level what nodes are. And I should also mention that EMP has created a full academy, which you can access here from the homepage. It's completely free, and it covers the entire protocol, not just nodes, but it does cover nodes. If you look inside the academy, there's a section dedicated to nodes, and a video here that goes into a deep dive explaining what they are at sort of a little bit more of a technical level than we're going to talk about it today. So if we start with what is a node, we can look at the EMP Money docs and see this light paper that talks about them and says a node is a synthetic version of a traditional validator node used in blockchain processing. Okay, well, you might start reading this paragraph and go, what? And that's totally fine. There's a ton of great information here for those who like to take that kind of a deep dive. But basically, a node in the EMP platform is simply a way to invest EMP that you have and earn more EMP via that investment. So how does that work? Okay, well, let's first talk about the node types. EMP offers 5 different nodes, and they're called Nano, Mini, Kilo, Mega, and Giga. And as you can see by the graphic associated, each one is slightly bigger than the next. Now, what do we mean by bigger? What we mean is a couple of things. First is what the amount in EMP that they cost to invest, to purchase. So here's that a part of the chart. So the price, and this is in EMP, not in dollars, it goes from Nano being 500 EMP all the way up to Giga being 8,000 EMP. Now, so that's one way they scale in size from smallest to the biggest, is what the price is in EMP. Now, you might think, well, okay, does that also mean that the bigger ones pay more than the smaller ones? A reasonable question. The answer to that is basically no. And I'll show you what I mean. The max return for each node is identical, and that is up to 400% ROI. So as you can see, the formula is the same regardless of the size. So a 500 returns max 2,000, where an 8,000 returns max 3,200. So in terms of the relative return to price, all 5 are exactly the same. So what then makes them different besides the price? Well, the other variable is time. And this is where the larger nodes excel. Basically, they allow you to get this max return faster. So here's a graphic I created to kind of illustrate this. Let's say that you're a race car driver and you're going to be in this race. And you've got to get from the start all the way to the finish. And this is the amount of gas, though, that you've been given to complete the race. So you do the calculations and you realize, well, hey, with that much gas, I'm only going to be able to go 60 miles an hour if I want to get all the way to the finish line and collect my prize. So that's what you're limited to. So it's going to take you however long it's going to take you at 60 miles an hour based on the distance of the race. Now, what if you had more gas? If you had more gas, that would allow you to put your foot down on the pedal and go 90 miles an hour and get to that finish line that much faster. So that's the concept with nodes in terms of size. The returns are the same, as we mentioned here, but the speed in which you get there is greatly accelerated the larger you go in terms of the size of the nodes. So hopefully that makes sense. And let's go back and now look at how this is displayed on the UI on the website itself. So we go to get there, we go up to nodes. And so we can see here's the interface. And the first thing we're looking at is node type. And here are the 5 different node types that they offer, as I mentioned in the other chart. So if you want to purchase a node, you want to select the node type you want. So let's say I want a kilo, which is 2000 EMP. Here it will show that and say, okay, the price of that is in US dollars currently worth $1,400, but you're still paying in EMP. Not in US dollars. So you want to think in EMP there. And so if you want to purchase this node, you need to approve this functionality once. Once you do that, you can buy as many nodes as you want. And then you just go through a regular transaction of depositing out of your MetaMask wallet the amount of EMP that you need to purchase the node you want. So, but this is interactive. So if you choose Giga, it'll go up to 8, etc. Also, you'll notice that this the APR numbers will also update as you move between the two. So, for instance, right now, the Giga node is at a daily APR of 1.59. Now, if I go all the way down to, let's say, the Nano at the very beginning, we'll see in a minute, the interface will update and show you the daily APR for the Nano node. And there it goes. Took a little minute, and it's 1.09%. Okay, so you can see the different daily APRs at that moment based on moving the node type from node to node. But again, this I want to hammer this home from the concepts that I was showing in the graphic. The daily APR isn't related to money per se. It's related to time. So again, even if you've bought a node, let's say you bought this Nano node, the 500 one, and its baseline is 1%. And so right now, technically, it's giving you back your return even a little faster than normal because of some other various factors having to do with PEG and that kind of thing. So you can think about this in time, not dollars. So this APR is telling you how fast it's actually returning your max 400 ROI to you. So hopefully that makes sense. So again, as we go up, I go from kilo up to, or from nano to kilo, and we see that this is paying back at a rate of 1.31% daily. So as you can see, it gets faster, not more money, but faster payment as you go up. So hopefully those concepts make sense to you. So the one other thing that I want to mention with nodes that you need to be aware of is that when you purchase a node, that EMP that you're committing to the node is locked, meaning you cannot take it out. Very similar to making a deposit in Detonator. The initial deposits or any deposits, or in this case purchasing of nodes, is locked. What you are then receiving is those daily EMP emissions, although it's not daily like the Detonator. This will accumulate over time. You don't have to claim or compound your EMP that you're earning in nodes every day like you do in Detonator. You can let it sit here and claim it whenever you want. So that's a big difference. But the initial principle that you put in to deposit to purchase the node, you cannot take that out all at once. So you're committing to a longer term strategy when you purchase a node. They're an excellent vehicle to use if you have a lot of extra EMP that maybe you've earned from the boardroom and that kind of thing, and you want to do what's good for the protocol. Nodes are great for the protocol because they're, locking up more EMP over time. So, but just be aware that you cannot immediately remove or withdraw, rather, the deposits that you put in to purchase nodes. And then the last thing I wanted to mention with nodes is you can have more than one. You can have as many as you would like, in fact, and that's called stacking them. And they can be of various sizes. You can have, 1 nano, 2 kilos, and a giga, or you can have 3 of each, or you can do whatever you want. But the interface is only going to show you your payout in one area. So in other words, if you have multiple nodes, this area here that's showing how much you earned is going to be the total of all of your nodes' earnings will be displayed in one. It doesn't break it out. It will show you a list below here of each individual node you have, but it doesn't give you the individual earning information for each node. It just adds that all up and gives it to you in one number here. Now, I should finally mention too that the EMP team is making a new web interface for the project, and I think it's due here not too long from now, and that may change. This whole look may change, or will change at some point, and it may include the display of each individual node and what it's producing. I don't know, I haven't seen it yet, and maybe by the time you're watching this video that's the way it looks. But so if that's the case, just remember that this was the interface at the time that I made the video. So there you have it. Hopefully that's a helpful overview of nodes and gives you a better idea of what they do and how that might fit into your overall strategy. And I wish you an incredible success on the EMP Money platform.